Hey, it's Brett and Coach, and today we are heading home back to Chicago, but we're hitting a couple breweries on the way back from Wisconsin. And first up is Harbor Brewing Company, the Lakefront location. And if you saw my previous passport video, you would know that this is the first location of the day, but it was the last location of the previous video, just the other location. Here we have two more beer. They are different from the place that we were last night. Again, go check out that video. So they are two new tasters. They could only do half pours for the smallest size, even though these are a little bit more than half. But let's jump into it. Her name was Amber, an amber ale. Not my favorite. It has a little bit of like an acidy taste to it. I'm not super impressed with it, so I'd probably give it a 5. And then this is Topographic, which is an IPA, and I believe it's 7.4%, so it's a little bit more on the boozy side. It starts off really good, then it gets really bitter. I think the 2 or 3 that we had at the previous location of this were better. That could just be selections of beer. I think that I would give this a 5 as well. Not quite for me, but I will happily drink them. I would say the space is super cool. This beer garden overlooking the marina, and it looks like there is a public pool nearby. In addition to the beer garden, they also have live music playing, as well as a food truck off to the side. But unfortunately, it is a little bit of an overcasty, misty day, so everyone's kind of huddled under the tent, drinking their beer. But for our next location, we're heading to Nightshade and Dark Pandemonium Brewing. So we will check that out to continue our journey. We are aiming to hit 4 or 5 breweries today, so hopefully we get to them in a reasonable time. So I decided to get a flight here just because there were enough things on the menu that I was super curious about. And the bartender actually recommended a specific order that we drink them in, because one of them has a violet as a flavor, and he said it's very aromatic and it might get ruined if I drink it any other position but first. And last one is a jalapeno beer, and he said if you drink that first, all of the other ones will be jalapeno beers as well. It's emanating the scent off of it. I can already smell the jalapeno. So we will start out with the order that he suggested. This is What If Not Spring, which is a Belgian ale with strawberry and violet. It comes in at 8.4%, and it does have a strong, like, flowery, floral, fruity scent to it. I don't know if it's supposed to taste like this or not. I don't know if I'm a fan of the violet flavor. It might be a little too perfumey for me. I'd probably give that a... I don't even know how to rate that, to be honest. So moving on, this is Toynbee Convector. It is a citrus peach saison coming in at 6.8%. This smells like peach gummy rings. I don't mind it at all. It's giving me a little bit more cucumber than peach. With that being said, it is still very light, refreshing, easy drinking. I definitely enjoyed this more than the previous one. I just don't get a whole lot of peach from it. With that, I'd give it a 6.5. And then this is a watermelon blonde ale called All Summer in a Day, coming in at 4.7%. It reads like a soda in a way. How the sweetness comes through. It is on the thinner side. I could imagine this being very much carbonated. It's not super carbonated as a beer. I'd probably give it a 5. It's okay. I'm not super into it, but I still enjoy it. And then this is Sit Gertie Sit, which is a jalapeno wheat beer coming in at 5.3, and I can smell it from across the room. It feels like how strong it is. Yeah. It's not overly spicy, but it does have like a warm burn sensation going down. I can feel it slowly getting hit by Scoville units and heat. In a way, it tastes like eating spicy nachos just because the wheat beer is giving it that chippy breadiness, and then the jalapenos are really following through with that spice. Out of the jalapeno beers that I've ever had, I think this is the most repeatedly drinkable. Usually I get through a taster and I'm like, yeah, I've had enough, I understand it, I get it. This, I could get a full pour and I wouldn't feel like that until the end of it. So I'd probably give that a 7. I think that is my favorite out of the 4. Very different beer overall in comparison to each other. I always appreciate it when a brewery has fun and just tries to see what works, throw everything at the wall and see what turns out, and throw it on the menu. So to have flavors like jalapeno, strawberry, violet, a peach saison, I always appreciate it because I'd rather have a brewery do too much and then reel it in, and then not enough and try to push themselves. We're going to enjoy our 4 tasters, wait out the storm a little bit, and then we're off to Broken Tee for our next stop. So to start off, we got One Hop and Check, which is an IPA, coming in at 7.1%. Not overpowering with hops or bitterness, but still maintains that flavor. I would say it's a good balance between the bitterness and a little bit of floral. I don't think it's the most flavor-forward IPA. If somebody wanted to feel adventurous and doesn't really like IPAs, I think this would be a great one to start out with. I would give it a 7. This is Out and In, which is a Hefeweizen, coming in at 5%. Seems like a classic fruited Hefe scent. It has a little bit of weediness mixed with a slight fruity floral flavor. Say that 10 times fast. It is a little bit thinner than I like in my beers, but also if you wanted to get into Hefeweizens, this would also be a really good one to start out with. It's not too intense or too overpowering for what it is, but it is delicious and does exactly what it's trying to set out to complete. So I would give this a 6.5. This is Shanktastic, coming in at 5.4%, which is a blackberry kettle sour. This is the one that I'm most excited about. I love sours, and this color almost reads grapefruity, but being blackberry, I'm very intrigued. It is a nice subtle tartness without being too much or almost pungent. It does have a very subtle blackberry flavor, so I wish that was a bigger front-facing note. But it's light, easy, no real complaints. I'd give this a 6. And then lastly, this is Wanamaker, a session IPA, coming in at 5%. It is the most distinct flavor out of the 4. It reads very hoppy, piney flavors. I could see Brian really enjoying this one. I understand what it's trying to do. I will happily drink it, especially out on a patio, even though it is a little bit of a rainy day. I'd probably give this a 7. Overall, pretty solid. Nothing that I'm like extremely wowed by, but everything is super drinkable and sets out to do something, and it fully pays off on that promise. Recently I got a comment about me only taking 1 sip and rating beers. That is valid, but also I do cut out multiple sips just because that content isn't the most interesting. But also when I'm on my 36th brewery of just the Passport alone, not counting all the breweries that I've been to prior or not on the brewery list, I would like to think that my opinion has some validity just based on how much I've tried. So I'm just throwing that out in the universe. I am fully open to critiques and feedback, but for clarity, I just do want to reiterate that. That's all. So we are currently in between locations, but just based on the amount of breweries that I'm going to head to, I'm going to wrap it up here. So this has been Brett and Coach. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video to help support the channel grow. Otherwise, I will see you next time in Coach.